It's the 29th of April, and I'm just going to relay today new update with regard to the means and methods of culprits that have offended my son and I, and that have obstructed procedures that are my entitlement to be addressed. Since 2016, there's been a lot of false reporting and a lot of fraudulence that I've experienced. And as I mentioned in yesterday's upload, I have been threatened with eviction in an accommodation where I have experienced environmental pollution, noise pollution, false reporting, aggression, and I have been defamed yet again in a community that is applying tactics and ploys that are unlawful and that involve professionals and practitioners that are of unlawful actions. So in today's little update, the matter I'm raising is the combination of the paranormal and the artificial developments of these culprits when producing false reporting statements. So, as I've mentioned, they've been of spiritual assaults and spiritual violations in a treasonous offence against my identity as a universal light worker since I became a married mother. This happened in my marital home, it happened in my family home and community, and it is happening currently as well. So the issue of these individuals even violating whistleblower protection laws and that are discussing a person that they claim to not know, that they don't have interaction with, that they don't have real-time proof of what they're claiming, that they're even in my proximity, and that there are regulatory bodies that are aware of all the offences I've experienced as a consequence of these people being offensive to the constitutional rights of Maria McElligott. So last night I raised a point with regard to the function of the relevant authoritarians and authorities and the issue of unlawful actions and practitioners that have defamed my character, that have discussed matters by means of artificial information or evidence or falsehoods or defamation that are highly inaccurate, highly dishonest, highly untrue, and highly offensive. They have blatantly disparaged my good name, character, and reputation with outrageous falsehoods. These are all offensive to my son and I, as a peaceful, law-abiding citizen that is experiencing antisocial behaviour. I am raising awareness or concern with regard to the function and capacity of the relevant agencies and establishments to safeguard my constitutional rights from these people that are liable since 2006. That is how long their defamation has been polluting the environment of this community. And it is not only offensive to the Constitution that there has been exacerbation and there has been malpractice and misconduct and practitioners intruding disrespectfully on a grown, qualified, professional adult without so much as a scrap of legalities to their actions. There have been practitioners claiming that they have right of way into my private life, where they have actually been offensive and unlawful in their claims and actions. These matters I have raised since 2017 for the relevant establishments and agencies to address, and that I am still experiencing offences, and that reparations that I am due or that are due to me still not being addressed, while I'm experiencing deprivation, denigration as a consequence of human rights abuses and the paranormal and artificial developments that these culprits have caused in this society, damaging nature, wildlife, privacy, personal information, all outlined in my impact statements that the relevant agencies and establishments have been made aware of, are matters that I am seeking to be addressed immediately. Most importantly, the issue of my child unlawfully withheld from me without so much as a piece of paper or any grounds whatsoever presented to me on the occasion of separation. So the other matter of my matrimony being disrespected and the issue of spousal desertion and financial abuse, these are all very huge issues in a modern day democracy. And the issue of not addressing an innocent mother's plight to safeguard very dangerous offences against all facets of the Human Rights Declaration and the Constitution is not positive for politics. So those avoiding and evading and disrupting the peace of civil society are not conducive to progress and are not respectful of progress. So those combining the paranormal and the artificial developments in an attempt of retaliation and avoidance and evasion to further offend my son and I while trespassing on my ancestral property. As the McElligott paternal bloodline and my marital bloodline, I find it quite astonishing that the very individuals trespassing on my marital property that have disrespected my child and I, and that have been very spiritually vile and very, very defamatory, are further offending Maria McElligott. There isn't a woman on the planet that would tolerate this situation. So in a democracy, in 2021, this is for the interest of women and children's rights, and the agencies that respect and have the dignity to uphold women and children's rights, as opposed to those flirting with very dangerous practices against all facets of society. So that's my upload today. I'd appreciate the relevant agencies and establishments looking at the hard evidence and the hard facts and the real-time events of this situation rather than the faulty paperwork, the illegalities and the nonsense of social influencers trying to gain an upper hand from entitlements that they have not worked for. So those gaining from my work, creative, intellectual, spiritual property of my work that have been disrespected and exploited are highly offensive to my McElligott family name and my son that was unlawfully separated from me. So I would appreciate the honourable government addressing these issues with regard to all facets I've endured, unlawful actions and spousal desertion and financial abuse and exploitation, etc., 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 to accommodate those trespassing where they have no right to be.